How many amazing stories are happening around us. What do you think you can find in an old abandoned garage on the outskirts of the city? Probably anything, but definitely nothing valuable can be there. But as it turned out, even nowadays, the world is fraught with many secrets, and some of these finds are literally making you go crazy. So the story. The beginning of 2019 was marked in the automotive world by loud news that literally flew around the world in a matter of days. In Bulgaria, in the city of Belgrade, an old warehouse with lost BMW 5 Series E34 was discovered. According to sources, a group of young people wandering around the outskirts of the city came across an old hangar. They were shocked, to say the least. In the pitch darkness of the old room, 11 cars were parked, covered with tarps. After removing these tarps, they discovered a real treasure. 10 sedans and 1 station wagon produced in 1994. But what was most surprising, some cars were brand new and some with minimal mileage, and all of them were in perfect condition. Most of the cars were painted red or black and carefully stored in a closed room under capes. As stated by the local authorities, the cars were not registered, did not have proper documents, and they did not have the tax and VAT paid. In fact, therefore, they cannot be registered as new cars in future. But the authorities faced the main question: why were these cars bought and what were they intended for, as well as how did they end up in this warehouse and were they really forgotten? By the way, these questions remain unanswered even today. After digging a little in the archival documents, several assumptions were made. According to one version, they were purchased in the 90s to serve foreign delegations. According to another version, these cars were intended for the first Belgrade car rental service. But then the question arises again, why didn't they ever go on the road? And no matter how strange it sounds, but no one could answer these two. After examining the cars, the surprise was the interior of most of them was sealed with factory film, and the engine, suspension, and transmission were in perfect condition. For some time, the city authorities didn't know what to do with such an incredible find, and in the end, it was decided to sell them at auction. Most of the cars carried the 520 index, but in addition to this, there were more powerful options, 525 models. It was also noted that for 25 years of storage in the warehouse, all cars were easily started after replacing the battery. I don't know how much these found cars were sold for, but experts estimated that at the auction for each car, you could get from 15 to 25,000 euros. And this is even taking into account the fact that there were some nuances, namely, we are talking about a high tax in Bulgaria on vehicles with a low environmental standard, because according to preliminary data, the environmental standard of these cars correspond to only Euro 3, so it is recommended to register cars of this standard, for example in Germany or those countries where there is no tax relief for rare cars. Let me add that the BMW 5 Series E34 was released in October 1987. During their production period from 1988 to 1996, almost 1.5 million cars rolled off the assembly line. BMW engineers managed not only to combine the brand's traditions and modern technologies, but also to combine the traditional BMW rear-wheel drive and inline-six under the hood, which allowed for a smoother power transfer from the engine and excellent weight distribution. In addition, the BMW 5 Series in the E34 body became one of the most reliable luxury cars on the market at that time, and is still considered one of the most reliable cars ever produced by BMW. But whatever it was, at the moment, such cars are of high collector's value, and it is even difficult to believe that the Bavarian stood in a long-forgotten warehouse for 25 years. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you have your own interest in life stories, Send us an email. We will definitely tell them. See you soon, guys. Stay tuned.